Wrestling fans, yes, it's your boy the D, bringing you another video this week. It's my second video this week, in fact. I'm going to be bringing you Monday Night Raw and Night of Champions predictions. That's right, people have been asking me for the Night of Champions predictions, and they probably wanted me to write it down and everything, but I thought, no, I want to do it in video. Yeah, wearing my classic vest today, ladies and gents. I'm in the mood to wear a t-shirt today. Plus I got a bad arm, so we'll move on. Right, Monday Night Raw kicked off this week with COO Triple H adding a stipulation to the match between Randy Orton and John Cena. And the match that came out, the Hell in a Cell was around the ring. They came out to their music, King of Kings. Came in the ring. Hell in a Cell was around the ring, not fully surrounding the ring. It was still high, but it was surrounding the ring nonetheless. And Triple H added a stipulation to John Cena versus Randy Orton. The winner of this match will face Brock Lesnar somewhere down the road. That's right. The winner gets a future title shot. So that will be very, very interesting. More on that match later on. The next match on Raw was a good way to kick off a show, actually. Pretty predictable, but good way nonetheless. It was the tag team champions Goldust and Stardust and Damien Mizdow, Sandow to you, versus US champion Sheamus and the Usos. 6-man tag. Okay match. You know, you've got two great teams, and Sheamus and Mizdow replacing the Miz. I'll fill it in for the Miz, because Sheamus and Miz will be facing each other for the US title at Hell in a Cell. Did I say Night of Champions earlier on? If I said Night of Champions during this, I apologise. My fucking brain, I'm telling you, I don't know, I'm still thinking it's Night of Champions. If I said Night of Champions at the beginning of this, I apologise. It's Hell in a Cell predictions. Why the fuck did I say Night of Champions for? I don't know. Anywho, I think the crowd are getting into Mizdow's antics, so to speak. And I don't know where the future holds for Mr. Mizdow, but the tag champions and Mizdow pick up the win and beat Sheamus and the Usos. But this was just a predictable warm-up building match for me, because Usos meet Goldust and Stardust at Night of Champions. Sheamus meets the Miz. Therefore, Mizdow was in there, yada yada yada. So, but the champions and Mizdow, the tag champions and Mizdow won. Alicia Fox and AJ Lee. Oh God. What is with people getting? What is with AJ Lee doing the job for women these days? She's a Divas champion and she's doing the job. She's doing jobs for Alicia Fox. More on her later, along with Paige. I mean, it was again another match. I hope this feud between Paige and AJ ends at Night of Champions. Whatever. It was just a whatever match. But Alicia Fox beats AJ Lee. Hopefully, like I said, this feud will end at Night of Champions. Now, Randy Orton came out next. You know, talked about Hell in a Cell, talked about his match with Cena, talked about how interesting it's become with the World Championship stipulation in it. Cena comes out, tries to get in his face, and, you know, defends himself. But these two were interrupted by Paul Heyman running his mouth about Brock Lesnar as well. He comes out on behalf of Brock to deliver a warning to the two. And Cena's about to attitude adjust him, and then turns around and gets RKO'd. And as Cena's laid out on the canvas, Paul Heyman's laughing at him. Paul Heyman and Randy Orton end up laughing at him, and then Orton says to Paul, "Away you go. After you, sir." Paul walks, Orton spins him around, and drops Heyman with an RKO. Is that a sign or something? I don't know. But, like I say, more on that later on during the video for Hell in a Cell. Now, Rusev defeats Big E, but that wasn't the story, because that was just Big E jobbing to Rusev at the end of the day. That wasn't the story. At the end of the match, Rusev won the match and wanted wanted his Russian flag to pop down. It wouldn't. And then Big Show pops up on the Titantron, and then the American flag pops down. Obviously Rusev's pissed off, and just when you thought he was going to do what Big Show did to the Russian flag, a soldier comes in and gets kicked in the head for trying to stop Rusev, and then walks away. Rusev gets out of there with Lana, and Big Show comes running out during the commercial break and is pissed off and is angry, and that just fueled the fire that is going to happen in Hell in a Cell between these two. Oh Jesus. Next match was Brie Bella and Summer Rae, and you know what? Fuck you, Total Divas, because I ain't talking about this. All I'm saying is Brie Bella won. Whoop-de-doo. Dean Ambrose came out next and talked about his Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins. Brought out a dummy of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins came out with his security and the Cruiserweight division, as Dean Ambrose called them, Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble, and said that he wasn't afraid of Dean Ambrose, he wasn't afraid of Hell in a Cell, and just as he was about to walk in, music hits, and out comes Foley. Yes, Mick Foley, surprise return to Monday Night Raw, and talks about and gives the two a piece of advice of what Hell in a Cell is about. If anyone knows it, it's Mick. And as you well know, I don't know what caused this, but these two were having a spat. WWE and Mick Foley were having a spat at the beginning about contracts and Legends contracts and that, but it seems everything's died down now because Foley returned to Monday Night Raw. And then all hell breaks loose, and just when Rollins was about to jump on the apron to attack Dean, Dean hits him with his doll and then throws his doll on top of him. Him and his cronies, so, which was hilarious. I can't wait for this match at Hell in a Cell. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. I mean, this match, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, is worth the price of admission. Cesaro beats Dolph Ziggler. Now, again, wrestling was brought to this program because these two had an epic match, an epic warm-up, if you will, for the match at Hell in a Cell. And Cesaro won, hitting him with a European uppercut to earn him a pin. And a post-match neutralizer seemed to cement his argument. Will Cesaro win the Intercontinental Championship at Hell in a Cell? We can all find out this Sunday. But like I said, these two are going to have an epic match at Hell in a Cell. So this may very well be the show stealer at Hell in a Cell. And apparently, from what I've heard, and it's been confirmed, this match is 2 out of 3 falls, which just makes it even more interesting. The main event was, now I mentioned this on the podcast and I mentioned this last week as well on podcasts. It was The Authority, Randy Orton, Kane and Seth Rollins versus John Cena and Dean Ambrose. And just as I called it on the podcast, there was dissension. All hell broke loose. But as one thing led to another, and then as Dean Ambrose was going to do his his little clothesline that he does when he gets in the middle ropes, kind of like what Nigel McGuinness used to do, and he comes back and they clotheslines your head off. He tried to do that, but instead of clotheslining Randy Orton, he walked right into an RKO and got Orton beat. Yes, the cell came down also, and that wasn't the occurrence, because after the match, Seth Rollins came in and curb stomped Randy Orton. Now, there's this talk about Randy Orton being babyface. Is that what it's come down to now? Randy Orton being babyface? Guess time will tell. Predictions. Now, I'm going to start with my prediction for the tag team match. Goldust Stardust defend against the Usos. It's going to be a great match. I know that. But I see Goldust and Stardust winning this match. I can't see them losing the belts to the Usos. If the Usos win the belt, I won't be complaining. But I can't see Goldust or Stardust losing the belts. I will see them winning this match. So my pick for that is Goldust, Stardust. Big Show and Rusev. I want Big Show to win, but I just can't see it happening. Because of Rusev and this undefeated streak and this momentum that he's got and this monster that he's being. I can't see it happening, to be honest. I can't see Big Show winning, so my pick would be Rusev for this match. The third one that I'm talking about is Sheamus and Miz. I might as well get this out of the way. I hope Sheamus wins, but I have a funny feeling Miz will be the new US champion. Some shenanigans, some BS that's going to be put on. I mean, let's face it, they've already made Sheamus look like an idiot, WWE, these past couple of weeks, regards to what's been going down with him and Miz. So anything can happen at Hell in a Cell. God knows what will happen at Hell in a Cell. But I want Sheamus to win, but I'm picking Miz. Paige and AJ Lee, flat out AJ Lee, since Paige is going on Total Divas with Alicia Fox. So there'll be no more championship for her or Alicia, by the way. And I refuse to even... You know what? Tune into my podcast this coming Monday, and I'll talk more about that Total Divas bullshit on there. I'll save that for the podcast. Brie Bella and Nikki Bella, my prediction to that match is I really, really don't care. That's my prediction. I couldn't give a fuck. I've got no interest in that match whatsoever. No interest in it. The winner becomes the other one's personal assistant. What is this? Stone Cold and Ric Flair back in 2003 before Austin walked out. Was it 03 or 02? It was one of them. But I remember back in the day when Stone Cold had the feud with Flair leading into him, and he beat him on Raw, and Flair was supposed to be Austin's personal assistant, but Austin walked out. You know, that's when the whole walking out thing started. So, like I said, I've got no interest in this match between these two, and I hope this feud ends. And quite frankly, I lost interest in this feud between the Bella Twins when they had that bullshit with Jerry Springer. Bullshit. So, you know, best for business. Now, John Cena and Randy Orton. Many of you people might be surprised about this, because many of you people probably think I'm going to be picking John Cena to win this match. No. I'm picking Randy Orton to win this match. I won't be surprised if Cena wins, but I'm picking Randy Orton to win this match. And the reason why I'm picking Randy Orton to win this match is this. Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton sounds appealing to me. Now, how is this going to go down? I don't know. But I want to see Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. And I read on the dirt sheets early on in the year that at some point they were talking about who was going to be feuding with Lesnar this year. Randy Orton was on that list. So maybe they're going to go with it. Maybe they're going to go with this feud. I hope so, because this would be really, really good. So my pick to win the John Cena Randy Orton match in Hell in a Cell will be Randy Orton. Although I won't be surprised if John Cena does win it. I mean, this is John Cena we're talking about. The main event, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. And if this is not on last, then this whole pay-per-view is ruined. Because this should be on last. I don't know what the hell is going to go down in this match. All I know is this. It's going to be a fight. Don't be expecting a wrestling match. You'd be lucky you even get a wrestling match in this match. It's going to be a fight. That's all I'm saying. Hell in a Cell, it's going to be a fight. Fight. And I'm picking Dean Ambrose to get his revenge. Cena's already going to be facing Seth Rollins in November anyway, in Liverpool, I believe it is. It's already been advertised for him to face, so Cena will probably get his revenge then. But Ambrose gets what he wants. He gets Seth Rollins, and if this doesn't steal the show, I don't know what does, quite frankly. This may go down as the greatest Hell in a Cell match ever, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I mean, this match alone is worth the price of admission for this pay-per-view, because you know it's going to be a fight. And I'm picking Dean Ambrose to win. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this. Hope you've enjoyed it. If so, little like wouldn't go amiss. And but share this with your friends and share this with anybody who will pay attention, any wrestling fans out there. And hope you've enjoyed it. Tune in to the podcast this coming Monday as well. Episode 30. That's right. I've hit the 3-0, baby. And it's a Halloween-ish special as well, because it's Halloween week. So make sure you tune into that. And until next time, I've been Anthony Walker. Goodbye.